connoisseurs, Roseanne devotees, Roseanne fans, Roseanneaholics, and Roseanne-maniacs, and Roseanne-ophiles. Welcome to Roseanne Retrospectives. I'm Scott.
I'm Blake.
I'm Pat.
This is the podcast where we collide with the Roseanne subdimension. What is the Roseanne subdimension? Well, in the series finale of the show, the Roseanne subdimension is revealed when we learn that Roseanne has really been writing a book about her life, and that what we have been watching is her version of the story. In an effort to distinguish the Roseanne subdimension from the Roseanne reality, we review each episode of the show. Today, we will be discussing Season 1, Episode 6, Lover's Lane, the first episode where Roseanne was actually having fun on set. We learned that during the DVD intro, where we get a little clip of Roseanne Barr talking about the show and telling us how fun it was, and how apparently Season 1, Episodes 1 through 5 are not that fun for Roseanne.
I could not possibly imagine why.
I had fun.
I had fun. We all had fun. This is a fun podcast, and we have nothing but fun. All right, moving into housekeeping. So recently, Roseanne made a major announcement regarding her personal health. She is currently in the process of going blind, which is very sad. Roseanne Barr, the person.
Due to macular degeneration and glaucoma.
Mm-hmm.
She's not doing it on purpose, in other words.
Right. And we just want to take this opportunity to distinguish the fact that we're talking about Roseanne, the fictional character, and not Roseanne, the real person.
There's also recently been announced a movie in which Roseanne runs for president. It has a lot of famous people appearing in it. Michael Moore, one of the Smothers brothers.
Is it a documentary?
It is.
She really did run for president.
Yep.
Yeah.
And the title is Roseanne for President.
That's
So
awesome.
It leaves nothing to the imagination. So, it's Friday night. Roseanne and the gals are at work discussing their plans. They decide to go out for the evening, and Roseanne twists everyone's arm into going bowling. Since Roseanne is the character the show is named after, we are going to listen to what she says. She goes and invites Booker to this bowling event. Booker decides that he will go because he wants to have sex with Jackie, and Jackie is going. Roseanne decides to bring her whole family along for the trip, including Becky, who is currently eyeing up her classmate Chip, who is also working at the bowling alley snack bar. Roseanne is a terrible bowler and really just causes problems for everyone while she's at the bowling alley, but still insists on the bowling activity. Instead, she just kind of gets drunk the whole time and doesn't really care about the sport. I think she bowls about a 17. She's just a total asshole. She has this whole idea of bowling being a fun activity, but
I don't think she's an asshole.
she invites everyone
wait,
to
she is
bowl,
an
and then
asshole,
she
never
makes
mind.
it difficult for everyone to bowl. Like, she interrupts them. She yells while they're bowling. Like, if you're a person like Roseanne at the bowling alley is someone you want to kick out.
Okay, I forgot that while we were watching the episode, I kept saying, wow, what an asshole, like every scene she was in. So, yeah, she was actually a huge asshole.
Mm-hmm. But the real story is that Booker has placed a bet with Jackie that he's going to take her home and have sex with her if he can beat her in the bowling. But Jackie's a really good bowler, so she's really confident about this.
Yeah, that's disturbing.
The whole thing is really disturbing. Booker ends up winning the bet, but of course denying the sex to Jackie because he's an honorable man now, apparently. He basically wins the bet and then twists Jackie's arm into revealing that she wants to have sex with him, and then loses all interest and cancels the affair. In other love news, Becky is macking on the snack counter boy Chip, who is a classmate of hers who she has a crush on.
So the one thing that stands out to me in this episode are the clothing choices of the various characters, specifically, the two daughters of Roseanne and Jackie. I want to note Jackie's parachute pants and suspenders and turtleneck combo, which Booker finds irresistible. Any thoughts?
I'm a fan.
Was it truly as sexy as Booker behaved?
Yes, it was.
It was.
It was. I was a fan.
Yeah.
And of course, Booker is looking sexy too.
Okay, he looks a little more normal. Like,
Do you know how hard it is to find a girl in parachute pants with suspenders.
In 1989, not that hard.
No, right now.
Those pants were
now,
like
yeah.
they were like a weird gray beige, and her turtleneck was like a weird blue that was almost kind of in the same tone as the beige. So it was just like it was hard to see the thin beige suspenders against that blue turtleneck, and it was just like gross.
It was
what? But then those red pants that what's her name was wearing, the blonde daughter. What's her name again? Becky. Yeah, so Becky's wearing these sweet ass red pants and this awesome blue grandma sweater, and
those pants were fly.
And her shirt's buttoned all the way up to her neck and has what looks like tatting all over it. You know, old grandma tatting. Dressed like a grandma. I think she had a brooch on.
Mm-hmm.
Dressed to the nines for Chip.
Yeah, she's dressed like an old woman.
But she looks fly.
She's 15.
She looks awesome. She looks
13. How old is she?
She's supposed to be 13.
13. She's looking good.
Yeah, she looked good. Like
back into her American Girl doll fashion sense.
And then I just want to note the jacket that the brunette daughter's wearing. Darlene, yeah, she's wearing a pretty cool jacket. But you know what's weird is her jacket is red, and the shirt she's wearing under it is a hoodie, and it's pink. So she's wearing this red jacket and a pink hoodie underneath it. It's a little jarring, but I'm down with it because, you know, I don't know. It just looks really modern now. Odd, if you think about it.
It is odd.
Yeah. So, very good clothing choices this episode. Oh, by the way, they did mention corn again this episode because Chip sells popcorn. And Roseanne goes up and buys the popcorn from Chip.
Yeah.
I just wanted to note that.
Oh, yeah, good call.
The corn in-joke.
So let's talk now about the parts of the show, how they really occurred in the Roseanne reality.
Well, they probably weren't dressed as good.
True.
Oh, yeah, way drunker.
That was the first thing that we all agreed on was absolutely everybody was drunker.
Well, the issue between Jackie and Booker, that's where we had two sort of competing theories on what was really happening in the Roseanne reality versus what happened in the show. Like, what happened in the show is they made a sex bet. It's kind of like, you know, Booker's like, you have to sleep with me if you lose. And Jackie's like, well, you have to clean my bathroom and maybe sleep with me if you lose. You know, so they're having this whole, like, weird sexual harassment thing going on, which is bizarre. But, there's one thing that we know from the final season finale of Roseanne, series finale. One thing that we know is that Jackie was actually a lesbian, but Roseanne could never see her way into accepting Jackie's lesbianness for whatever reason. So maybe Booker was a woman and Jackie she was sort of in the closet. She didn't want to be out about it. Booker's just hating on her all the time because Booker's like, I know that you like me. I know you're into ladies. And Jackie's like, I don't want anybody to know, so I'm going to pretend I don't like this, but I kind of like it. That's my theory.
Good theory.
Yeah, thank you. What was your theory, Blake?
My theory was that it was really just a guy.
Yeah, he was a guy. Booker was a guy.
Yeah.
And that he was just...
Because this doesn't...
Groundbreaking theory. Booker was played by George Clooney.
And that was just...
Man.
No, that's
my
an
attractive
theory.
Man.
That's my theory.
And that it's just as we see it on the screen, or...
Yeah.
Except without Jackie being as accepting of it?
She was maybe a little bit more guarded. Maybe had her walls up a little bit higher.
Yeah, because it seems in the show that
because she's still, at the end of the day, you know, she didn't have sex with him.
Yeah, but she revealed...
because he denied her.
Yeah.
He wins his bet and then it's like, oh, you want to have sex with me now? No.
Yeah, because Jackie's like, actually, I would love to do it with you.
Because he wants to play the honorable man card and be like, oh, I bet you to have sex with me and then you lost, but I'm not going to cash that in because I'm actually a good person.
Oh, fucking 1988.
What a year.
Man, I cannot believe anybody thought that was acceptable to put on a TV show.
Can't believe anybody thought it was funny.
Man, people were sick back
like,
then.
This is supposed to be a good show. This is like a good sitcom, but there's so much about it that's just not funny. It's not cool. It's not appropriate.
Not appropriate is the big thing.
It's like that, I think, with a lot of TV, but this show is just this.
I'm just disappointed because I always heard that this show was awesome.
You know what it's like? It's almost like people back in the day didn't have a level of scrutiny or a level of awareness or like their radar was not as finely tuned as
Mhm.
people are today. So you could
Mhm.
like have a joke like this, and people would just have it go over their head.
Mm-hmm.
I
That's what it
guess.
feels like.
There was also never the intention that episodes would be available for rewatch and rewatch, like regular rewatching.
I
These were
also
made
think
to
there
be
was like this
disposable.
ability that like we didn't mean everything that we said back then. So like you could have things that like were just jokes or like very lighthearted or like things that people were particularly not going to pay attention to, and you could just throw them in.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, man. Anywhere you cut it, a boss making a sex bet with his employee, and okay, wait. There's that scene where Jackie's lost the sex bet, and she's like, Booker, you wouldn't have me against my will, would you? And Booker's like, why not? And then the audience goes, ha ha ha.
Well, he says,
ha.
"Of course." He
Oh,
doesn't
he
say
would
why
go,
not.
"Of
He's
course."
like, "Yes,
Ha,
I
ha,
want.
ha.
I want to have sex with you against your will."
How the heck did even? I mean, it's 1988, but it's not like the distant past. It's not like the 1800s or something.
Here's
It's
all
like,
that I know.
What the heck?
This was made in 1988. 10 years later in 1998, if you'd had this joke in Friends, people would have been up in arms.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool that there was that much progress in 10 years.
Mm-hmm. Well, there's just that much more attention paid to the sitcom as something that people cared about. It became more profitable
Yeah.
in a post-Roseanne world.
I don't know if there was progress. I think there was just development.
I didn't insinuate progress.
Yeah, I mean, no, that's what I'm saying. I don't think
insinuated progress.
I don't
I
think there
didn't-
was progress.
No, I don't think that we've experienced
I think there was
broadcast
fiscal interest and stuff.
Anyway, that was mind blowing seeing that in that episode. And the
Mhm.
reality is probably much darker than what was revealed to us. Like if we're going with the whole, you know, the hidden reality of Roseanne.
Yeah.
Oh, Roseanne flirting with Chip. I mean,
yet.
Becky flirting with Chip. Oops.
So Becky is the one that wants to flirt with Chip because Becky's really attracted to him. Chip is her classmate, and I guess he just works at the bowling alley on the weekends at the concession stand.
He's
So,
this hot young blonde boy.
mhm,
He's
she's-
like 13.
he's gonna be her boyfriend for a few episodes this
He
season.
makes it a big deal that Roseanne gives him a 50-cent tip.
Mm-hmm.
What we know of Roseanne as a character is that leaving a 50-cent tip is contradictory to everything we knew about Roseanne.
I mean, leaving a tip is contrary to everything we know about
Exactly.
Roseanne.
So probably what happened is Roseanne made a pass at Chip.
Becky was horrified.
Where are you getting that? Where do you get that Roseanne made a pass at Chip? Why would she do that?
They would justify leaving a 50-cent tip.
She would do that because she's competing with her daughter. She's like, you think
She
you're
would-
hot stuff. You're only 13. I'm a woman.
She'd leave,
I'm going to show you how it is.
Roseanne would leave a 50-cent tip because she's wasted.
Oh.
Maybe
Yo,
she
you're
said
right,
something
you're
that
right.
made Chip uncomfortable, and maybe she
I
was
could get
flirting with
behind
him.
that.
Maybe the 50-cent tip was her way of flirting with him.
I guess.
Yeah, no, totally. Could be.
Sure. Or
Could be.
or maybe she is paying him to sleep with her daughter.
Oh, jeez. I don't know.
You don't think Roseanne would do that, but you do think.
No, that
Dude.
just doesn't seem like in the Roseanne reality. I
Mhm.
don't know.
But you think she would hit on a 13-year-old
Yeah,
boy.
yeah, as a way of competing with her daughter because she feels unyouthful because her daughter is just beginning the blossoming of her youth and reminding Roseanne that her youth is long past.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, Roseanne's probably only in her late 20s, early 30s at this point. The
Early
the
30s.
character, I mean. And so she's having her little, you know, quarter life crisis or third life crisis or whatever. And she's like, I still got it. I'm going to show my daughter, who's just beginning the blossoming of her youth, I'm going to show her.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to hit on her 13-year-old boyfriend.
Okay.
I mean, I could totally see that. There's totally
I can
moms
get
that do
behind
that,
I
out there.
agree.
I disagree. I don't think she's going to be doing that. I think it's way more likely that she bribes her to date her daughter than anything else. That she makes a drunken scene and embarrasses Becky.
Well, what about oh yeah. See, if Roseanne would pay a boy to sleep with her daughter, which I don't, or to date her daughter, not sleep with, to date, because 13-year-olds don't sleep with each other. She would pay a boy to date her daughter.
Mm-hmm. She would give a boy
Why
50
would
cents
she
to
have
date her daughter.
Why would
because
she
Oh,
have
this
to
is
give? Why would she have to give a boy 50 cents to date her daughter? Her daughter is such a snappy dresser. Like she could get any boy she wanted with that awesome
Mm.
red pants outfit. Like she's wearing red pants. Come on, like it's awesome. Roseanne wouldn't have to pay anybody for that.
Okay.
But
in
the
reality,
Roseanne reality is
she's
that
not wearing anything nice. She's wearing red sweatpants and
she's wearing red
a sweatshirt.
sweatpants and a nasty blue sweatshirt. She doesn't look like anybody's grandma at all.
Mm-hmm.
So Roseanne takes pity on her and gives Chet 50 cents to be her girlfriend. Or her boyfriend, I mean. Wait,
Yeah.
Becky's not secretly gay, is she?
No, that we've established.
We've never established that. We've never even speculated.
There's no
that.
indication of that. She
I
seems to
remember
have hetero relationships.
Does not compute.
Roseanne, the real life person, did state, according to Wikipedia, that the brunette one, what's her name? Darlene.
Come on.
Sorry.
You're doing a
I'm
review
sorry.
podcast of an entire
You can't
series.
even get the names right.
You gotta get the character
I'm sorry.
names
That's
right.
my character
What's going
flaw.
on
That's
here?
my character flaw. I'm sorry. I for real cannot remember their freaking names for the life of me. Darlene is a gay, according to Roseanne.
Gay.
She is gay. Not a gay.
Darlene
guess
comes
you could
out.
say.
Roseanne's
People
like,
say.
okay. So Roseanne,
Okay.
Roseanne, the real life Roseanne, did state that if she were to extrapolate upon the lives of the characters,
So she would, right.
Darlene would have
You've
come
never
out
really
as
seen
gay.
this show, have you?
I
You've
saw
never-
I saw some clips of some episodes here and there.
That guy
saw the last
that Roseanne is
episode.
married to, the big one.
Oh, he used to be a football player.
Dan.
There you go.
Dan. It's his name.
That was a
Football
trick question. Football Dan. Dan the Man Connor.
Oh yeah, Dan Connor.
Dan, Drywall Man. Drywall King of the Universe.
We didn't talk about Night Monkey.
Okay, so Night Monkey. Well, okay.
And this is probably my favorite point of the whole thing. Somebody brings up a bar called Night Monkey, which is out by the prison. I was thinking, like, that would be a really ridiculous thing that surcharge to have on your credit card bill to Night Monkey.
Night Monkey.
Nah.
Yeah, it's probably has a, I don't know, if it's like
That's
any
a
of the,
business name.
if it's like any of the bars I've been to, it's got some weird like fake name that they use to like for tax purposes.
Yeah,
it's
corporation name.
It's like the Good Night Inn or something.
Or it's
LLC.
probably
so
like-
they don't have to pay any because it's not a quote unquote restaurant, so they can pay all their servers under the table and
Or
they
it's
don't have
like
to claim tips or something.
Clorsons LLC.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. It's not
Because it's owned by the Clore brothers.
It's not like the Night Monkey Swing Joint LLC
That would be
on
awesome.
your credit card.
Yeah, why
Night
the hell?
Monkey Swingers LLC.
Well, the Night Monkey is the place. Well, so the Night Monkey's near the prison. So this is clearly the bar where people go once they get out of prison to get drunk for the first time and pick up an evening lady.
An evening lady, or
Or man.
a lady
An
of the
evening man.
evening.
A
man.
bar fly of either gender, any gender.
A man who belongs to the night.
A night man.
A night monkey,
A
as
night
in
monkey.
they're
Or a
gonna
night
they're gonna
swinger.
monkey around in the night.
Yes.
Get
or
it?
swing around in the night.
Yeah, monkeys swing,
Monkeys totally swing.
swingers swing.
Lots of swinging at the Night Monkey.
Wow, man, this sounds awesome. I wish I could be in the world of the Roseanne to swing on some branches.
Who doesn't want to
Sounds
wish that they
awesome.
could go to a swingers bar outside of a prison in rural Indiana?
With Dan Connor.
Or rural Illinois, sorry.
I'd go there with Dan.
Oh yeah, because you proposed that Dan has been in prison, and that's how Roseanne knows about Night Monkey.
Yes.
And how it's patroned by prisoners.
They
Former
clearly
prisoners,
went to a
ex-cons.
prison when they got Dan out.
They don't talk about it though.
No.
That's the reality. That's the Roseanne reality.
And the reality.
So the reality
Keep a
is
lockdown on
She
it.
wrote that out though. She wrote that out of the fictional Roseanne that we can watch on the show.
yeah.
Man, so many layers. I mean,
did.
human clam.
Oh, human clam.
Clamp. For God's sakes, it's not a clam.
Human
We've
clam.
argued about this for about
human
20 minutes.
clam.
So,
Why would you call it a human
wait.
clam versus a snake? It's a human snake versus a human clam if they're both human. You have the human adjective. You don't put it on one animal and not another.
So Dan initially doesn't want to go bowling because the human clam versus the snake man.
Clamp. The human
Human
clam.
clamp versus the snake man are playing on the TV.
That
They're like
is-
wrestlers. They're wrestling. They're having a wrestling match.
It's clearly language about vaginas versus penises.
Well,
Oh,
yeah, so
there's
that's why the
there's
human
no
clam.
argument about that. Well, the human clam or the human clamp. it works either way.
Yeah, it does work either way.
Both work.
And so then they role play that at the end of the episode. They role play that at the end of the episode.
Yes, they do. They have sex with each other.
No, they just wrestle each other
I was talking about
in
the
front
reality.
of the. Oh yeah, and yeah.
They have sex with each other on the couch while there's professional wrestling playing.
I guess Clamp
No,
does
you don't-
make more sense because at least Clamp has that P in it.
My theory
And
is-
that's really what we're looking for, right?
My theory is rather than having a
it?
clam or snake or clamp in real life, Roseanne and Dan just had sex when they got back from the bowling alley.
Probably
Oh,
wrestling on the TV, but yeah.
and Roseanne made it more sexy by putting in the clam and snakes jokes.
Yeah. That was her joke because they're both,
But the reality was pretty banal.
That was her first attempt at introducing some subtlety into the narrative.
that was very subtle narrative
There's
work.
another layer beyond that if you don't look at it at the surface level.
Well, that's something I could really respect. So kudos to the fictional Roseanne who wrote the fictional Roseanne TV show.
Mm-hmm.
Kudos.
Anybody else have anything else to observe?
No.
No, I don't think so. Got a lot of.
So let's go through what everybody's favorite part of the show was this episode.
I know what your favorite part is. Maybe you should go first. If you want to go last because it's so awesome.
I can go first if you wanna save yours.
What's mine?
Man, I'm not gonna. I know what it is. I know what you're gonna talk about.
All right. Well, how about I talk about what I'm gonna talk about?
Oh yeah, mine's great. Okay, go ahead, Scott.
My favorite part of the episode is all of the name changes that you can see in the arcade.
Right.
There's a scene where Darlene is in the arcade, and you've got all these real video games that they just like slapped tape over single letters of the names to like avoid copyright infringement. So you've got the M. Rio brothers and Roids.
Like asteroids, but it's just
Right, but
roids.
they burn out the lights on the AST.
No, the Space
E.
Enforcer. I wonder if there's a game called Space Enforcer. They do
Yeah,
not
they
seem to
didn't blow
black
that
out
one
any
out.
of
But
that.
M Space Rio brothers is my favorite.
Embryo Brothers.
The M Rio brothers. That's my favorite part of the episode.
I think my favorite part is Jackie's suspenders, but I've already talked about that a lot. That was definitely my favorite part, though.
They were pretty fly. My favorite part of this episode is that at the very end, DJ is thrown in front of his mother
I told you. I
with
knew what it
chocolate
was.
stains just all over his face. He looks like he's been doing something. And as is DJ's lot in life, that's the only character progression we have from DJ for the entire episode.
You were saying that it looked like he'd been eating poop.
Oh, he had been eating poop.
He had a literal shit-eating grin.
In the Roseanne reality, DJ was really eating poop.
Who knows whose poop or where he was eating it?
Well, he might have just been rubbing it all over himself.
Yeah, maybe he
I've
didn't.
walked into some bathrooms
He's a
where,
miscreant in real life.
where I've seen some evidence of what he was doing. It's surprisingly common that people
Oh,
will do
God.
that in public
I don't know how
restrooms.
common it
Oh,
is.
It happens more than I've encountered it on more than one occasion.
Oh,
Maybe you
God,
need to start
no.
going to new bars.
It's not at a bar. These are in the
People's
these are
houses.
just like public restrooms.
Oh,
where
no.
homeless people would wander in and rub shit all over the
Oh,
walls.
no, you're
Oh.
right. You're right. You're talking about men's rooms.
Yeah, I don't know if it's
Yeah.
as common in women's rooms.
Nah, we just get drops of urine on seats because people like to stand on the seats because their
I was
moms
talking
taught them
about
to
bowling
do that.
alleys.
Oh, I don't know about bowling alleys and.
We should go to more bowling alley restrooms
We
and
should
hang
conduct
out.
research.
Hmm. We're gonna be doing our next episode live from a bowling alley restroom. So you're gonna hear some more echoes than you hear in this one. Not as much carpet in the room. All right, so I think that's it for this week. Thanks so much for listening to us. You should check us out on Facebook at Roseanne Retrospectives, our Twitter at Roseanne Retros.
Is that the Twitter? Yeah.
Is that the Twitter? Yeah. I don't know. Find us. Do a Google search. Use your Googles. Do your Googles and get in touch with us. Rate us on iTunes if we're on there yet. I guess that matters if people rate you, whether or not anyone cares about your podcast. So, be sure to tell us how much you love us, and tell all your friends. Tell all your friends how this has been inspiring you to either buy the DVDs for Roseanne or rent the discs off of Netflix or. But yeah, also email us at roseanneretrospectives@gmail.com if you have any comments, suggestions. If you are Sandra Bernhardt and you'd like to participate in this show for an episode, we'll check our calendar, see if we can schedule you. All right, thank you, and we'll talk to you next week.